procedure for research? If any guest that is coming, what is your method? How should they approach marketing? What are the steps? Step 1, step 2, step 3 they have to do to establish their first steps into the world of marketing?
Honestly,
yeah,
it was more of a survival instinct in Bombay.
Yoga Guppy, I just saw you showing in the class. I think an year-old videos are getting 15 million, 30 million views, which is huge. How did you start with this yoga kind of a concept? Were you naturally interested in fitness?
So it's not me, guys. A business, I feel there have to be 2 or 3 hands that are coming together to do something successful.
Different people have different
expertise, right?
Yes.
She came up with this like, okay, let's have no dialogue, just animated content out there. And that kind of made a pivotal shift from like content being consumed only in English by certain people to content being accessible to a worldwide audience, because language was no more a barrier.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a lot of people consuming content from Middle East, like Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, then UAE, then probably Europe, because language was not a problem anymore.
Yeah. But how difficult it is to execute that, to create all of them, to make them move, and to actually make a whole video out of it. How difficult, and to do it constantly, regularly. I just want to understand, what does it take?
If my wife sees this, she's gonna be like, who are you to answer this?
The AutoCAD and everything, can you rely on it?
Very, very good.
Really?
Very, very good. I just feed my data into that, and I tell who's speaker 1, who's speaker 2, which audio is whose, and it automatically analyzes who's going to talk and who's not going to talk, and they'll cut accordingly. Have content being thrown out in the market every single day, or at least alternate days. Indian brand, and there stood a foreign brand, and there was a big gap between a 100 rupee versus a 300 rupee, and they exactly came in at a 200 price point, wherein this kind of and the positioning was exactly the way they had to market them.
Yeah.
So if you think of that, right, they spent 9 months before the launch.
200 rupees earphones and 7,000 rupees earphones.
Yes.
And boAt actually found that gap, It also gave premium kind of texture, but it was affordable.
Yes.
And they made cricketers and actors as brand ambassadors, so people could relate. And it was positioned as a stylish brand.
YouTube or any social platform as an enabler for your business. That would be my advice. If you are having 2 lakh, we'll say 1 lakh of people that follow you or subscribe you, come up with a business plan that will turn those 1 lakh people, subscribers, into customers. Even 1 to 10% convert, you are in for a treat.
Dhruv Rathi launching an AI app, I think people wouldn't...
It's mispositioning, right?
Yes.
And he got a lot of backlash for that as well.
From YouTube to boardrooms and even at big stage at music festivals, today's guest has done it all. He began his journey by helping YouTubers sharpen their content while also building his thriving channels. Along the way, interestingly, he also built a band that has become a regular at India's music festivals. And if that wasn't enough, he also co-founded Calliac Studios, a creative agency that has worked with global names like the Cult Fit, the Ultra Human, the Clinton Foundation, and Generation Vegan, producing films, ads, and animation-driven stories that leave an impact. A graduate from the prestigious Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute, he is someone who blends creativity and entrepreneurship in the most unique way possible. Please welcome Malay Vadalkar. Hi Malay, how are you and how is Bangalore treating you?
All good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm good. Bangalore is always amazing. I love the weather in Bangalore. It's overcast, so great weather, great people, comfortable life.
I always ask this controversial question. Let me not ask you to compare Mumbai and Bangalore, but let me ask you to compare traffic situation in Mumbai and Bangalore, because you are from Mumbai.
So if I have to compare traffic, it's a similar situation.
Right.
But traffic in Bombay is moving.
Moving. Okay. Here it's stagnant.
Here you're stuck.
Yeah.
You'll move after like few hours.
Right.
So that is the only difference. Otherwise, traffic is everywhere.
Traffic is everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, since we are shooting a podcast and you have recently started podcast.
Yes.
But your YouTube journey spans for about 5 years now.
Yes, a
Or a
little
little more?
around 2017. So 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
So, what is the inspiration behind starting a journey on YouTube? And I think at that time already YouTube was booming in India. I think
Yes.
from 2011-12 it started booming.
Yes.
And how did you think, I need to start a YouTube channel, and how did you encash on that? How did you ride the wave?
It was more of a survival instinct in Bombay.
Okay, that's true.
So I graduated I did my postgrad from Satyajit Ray Film Institute. So it's a proper film school. I was in Kolkata and I had to move to Bombay. So I finished everything and I shifted to Bombay in 2016. But then during that time, I did a bunch of like films and like, things for OTT and all of that. But I got associated with a few YouTubers. People who are already running their entertainment channel, like YouTube entertainment channel.
Right.
And during my film school days, I used to go to a film bazaar which happens in Goa, and where YouTube used to come and they used to have like YouTube seminars, like how to be a YouTuber, why you should create content for YouTube, what are the perks, how will you monetize, what will you get out of it. But at that time, I didn't have the vision, so to say, to think, what is compounding and how it works in terms of YouTube. Because I thought per video wise, and coming from a film school, you are thinking about like costs, heavy costs associated to like video production, right? So good cameras, great lights, set and this and that. You're not thinking from a consumer point of view or a digital point of view. You're thinking from a big screen point of view. But then when I started working with pretty famous YouTubers from 2015 to 2018, I was like, wow, these guys are hiring me. I'm getting paid, 10, 15, 20,000, whatever it was, for a day, for a shift. And there are 5-6 people there on the set who's getting paid at equally. And these people are managing to pay around 1 lakh per week, and we used to shoot minimum 4 times in a month, 4 to 5 to 6, 7 times, So good months used to be 8 times. So I'm like, wow, this is amazing. How are they managing so much cash flow and all of that? So then, I spoke to a friend of mine, and then she told me, this is how the general functionality of YouTube is. And then at one point, my then girlfriend Rashmi, who's my wife now, I was still like shuffling between Pune and Bombay. So she's like, come to Bombay to stay. And I didn't have money to like to afford Bombay rent.
Oh, you're originally from Pune?
Originally from Pune, shifted to Bombay. Okay, so so I'm like, okay, you know what, we'll start a YouTube channel, consider it as a rent for however long, and whenever if at all it starts making any money, you keep everything as the rent. We were staying in Prabhadevi, so it was pretty high, the rent, so I couldn't afford it. So that's how my YouTube journey began. And 2017, 2018, we started releasing YouTube videos, and and then never looked back.
I see that the yoga related channel you have, Yoga Guppy, and I think one more channel,
Yoga Lattes with Rashmi.
Yes. And Yoga Guppy, I just saw you showing in the class. I think an year-old videos are getting 15 million, 30 million views, which is huge. So, I mean, how did you start with this yoga kind of a concept? Were you naturally interested in fitness?
So
yoga
So it's not me, guys.
Right.
It's
you
my
collaborated.
Wife. No, it's my wife. Okay. So in a business, I feel there have to be 2 or 3 hands that are coming together to
Right.
to do something successful.
Different
right?
people have different expertise.
Expertise, right?
Yes, yeah.
So my expertise was mostly into production, video, filmmaking, all of that. Rashmi, my wife, is a content expert, right? Like she has been working with kids, movement, theater, songs, yoga for kids since maybe 20 years now, right? So she was already a subject matter expert in that. Plus, before doing Yoga Guppy, like we already had the IP Yoga Guppy, but we were not on YouTube. Before coming on YouTube, she was working with another kids yoga platform.
Right.
Right. So it was a clash of this interest. So post lockdown, when that company unfortunately shut down, we were like, okay, now we have our whatever content we did for them. It was basically like a trial run for Yoga Guppy.
Yeah.
So whatever we did for them, and we thought, okay, nobody's doing that in India. The kind of content we were coming up with, and it was her idea as to let's do this, let's do that. I was just the enabler for it, right? She had an idea, and I knew how to execute it.
Right.
So that was the secret sauce behind all of these things, and it so happened like till a point. Our content was in English. We were shooting everything. These are like yoga stories for kids, like about Diwali, about seasons, about just mythological stories, or or breathing exercises. These were in English. But then she got pregnant. We were expecting, and we couldn't go on to the set to shoot. So then the strategy, what she came up with is like, okay, let's have no dialogue, just animated content out there. And that kind of made a pivotal shift from like content being consumed only in English by certain people to content being accessible to a worldwide audience, because language was no more a barrier.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a lot of people consuming content from Middle East, like Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, then UAE, then probably Europe, because language was not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
So that kind of gave a boost. And of course, music is the other content pillar that we kind of figured, okay, this is doing great. So music related to kids, specifically yoga, music related to kids. So yeah, and then we figured out, okay, these are the things that are working by trial and error, and of course analyzing a lot of data. I mean, that is your mentor. So yeah.
So I mean, as you're saying, voiceless content. So this content doesn't have a voice, so that anybody can relate to and understand.
Yes.
And especially always kids don't listen to you; they only observe you.
Yes.
So anyway, you're speaking, it doesn't
matter. Yeah, it's not going to matter to kids what you speak. Because I feel they are more appealed by the visual elements that are happening.
Yeah, colorful.
Probably colors, probably activity based. They prefer high energy.
Yeah.
They prefer vibrant colors. So kind of considering all these things together. But before Yoga Guppy, Yoga Lattes with Rashmi is our first channel from where all of this started, right?
Right.
From where we understood how YouTube functions, from where we understood how to analyze data, from where we understood how to change or to adapt to different circumstances, seasonal changes, for example. So all these things we understood from this channel, which is Yoga Lattes with Rashmi.
Right.
So yeah.
I see you, I mean, you have made characters, the animated characters doing yoga for voiceless videos.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to do something not really similar just in yoga, in any field for that matter, they're teaching something, it's tutorials, and they want to make this characters and all that.
Yeah.
How difficult is it? As a layman, though I've worked with videos and stuff, I've never worked with these kind of characters and things like that. So you said you have hired an illustrator and something like that, but how difficult it is to execute that, to create all of them, to make them move, and to actually make a whole video out of it, how difficult, and to do it constantly, regularly. I just want to understand, what does it take?
If my wife sees this, she's going to be like, who are you to answer this?
I see.
Okay, so first of all, it's her brainchild,
Okay.
right? Like I said before, the thing there was there, I was just kind of an enabler or like a punching bag to jam ideas with, right? And I kind of took a, so to say, a back seat because I wanted to grow my other avenues
ventures, yes.
that were there. But from a bird's eye view, when you look at it, there is a person who's creating content and continuously putting blood, sweat, effort through and through, visualizing how it's going to be. Of course, referencing from other people, their work, and putting in your creative thoughts. And then you have a team. You have a illustrator. Before we didn't have an illustrator, so we used to get things from either Canva or if not, we had a Yoga Guppy flashcards. Okay, so for these flashcards, these are like it's like a book, but these are cards, big A5 size cards, so that people can look at these cards and practice yoga with parents, like, right? So it's a kids and it's a parent toddler activity, kids and parents activity book. So, which was great, and we had the illustrations for those, and these are all Indian art-based illustrations, and we found a gap. Okay, these flashcards are not existing anywhere, which have the Indian-ness to it, right? Like there are people like from the West, doing flashcards in yoga. So we thought this is something which is required. We had the illustrations for that, so we used those illustrations for a while. And then we ran out of our assets because we wanted to create more, right? And that's where we hired an illustrator. But the process is, there's a concept, the illustrator illustrates those assets. Those assets, according to what is going to be animated, the illustrator has to illustrate it. Then it goes to the animator will animate it, send a first draft to Rashmi. She'll correct the corrections that are there, give the titles and everything, and then it'll go back to the animator. Then they'll send a second draft, third draft, final video. Then there'll be music on it. Then it'll go up to the social media team, which will schedule it, or she'll schedule it. So that is the journey of animated content.
Now, since you also own a marketing agency, ad and marketing agency, now with the introduction of AI in all this, and every day the AI is growing so much that we are not able to catch up. So now has the work become easy in animation, in illustration and things like this? How AI is developing, and how is it making life really easy, or how is it working?
Honestly, life is great because of AI. Okay. From my perspective, from our company perspective, it has made life super easy for brainstorming ideas, for coming up with different content ideas, even for that matter, editing, right? So where in a podcast that I could edit, like a 1 hour long podcast, I would take like 3.5 hours to edit. Now I could edit it in like 30 minutes.
What are the tools you use? What is the process?
So there is there are a bunch of tools out there. So one is called as AutoPod, the other is AutoCut. I just feed my data into that, and I tell who's speaker 1, who's speaker 2, which audio is whose, and it automatically analyzes who's going to talk and who's not going to talk, and they'll cut accordingly. So for example, if I'm talking and you interrupt me, the camera will move to you automatically, and then it'll come back to me. So that's how it functions. And then from there, it has got an engine where it will auto-analyze what is a viral content. So suppose if I'm talking about AutoCut, it will definitely analyze that, they're talking about us. So it's a viral thing. So probably it will give me segments, virality score and emotional score wise. Okay, these are the reels that you can get. It'll auto give me subtitles,
Opus clips,
something similar. So there are many online platforms and many plugin based platforms. So we use Adobe like a Premiere Pro to edit. So which is this is a plugin based thing. So it makes life much easier.
Is the quality good? AutoCut and everything. Can you rely on it?
Very, very good.
Really?
Very, very good. I mean, it's the footage. You're not uploading the footage anywhere. The footage is still in your drive. It's like a plugin that is just acting. It's like a application that is there.
Right. And it is actually doing at least 60-70% of your work. So then later you can refine it.
Yes, more than that.
More than that.
Yes. So AI, just like editing was one such example, right? Even scripting and brainstorming for my artists, podcasts that I'm coming up with, right? Doing a research about them, understanding what they like, what they don't like. Somewhere in some blog post they must have written, they love Bombay XYZ ka vada pav.
Right.
So I can have that relatability. I won't be able to find that blog about them in such little time.
Right.
So this research that they're doing, and
what is your procedure for research? Any guest that is coming, what is your method?
So say for example you are coming. Okay, I'll put in your name as Google. Whatever links I get, according to social links, any articles, any PR work, anything that you have done, I'll get all of that onto my notepad, digital notepad. I'll feed all those links to either GPT or Gemini. Then I'll be like, okay, do a deep research about the persona of this person. Then I understand where do they work, what are their likes, dislikes, and then I'll say, okay, great. Now tell me, okay, if you were an expert podcaster and you had to interview this person, what kind of questions you would ask? Then I'll get an overview of the questions. Then I'll be like, okay, then I'll feed, okay, apart from this person does this because I know some of them on a personal level.
Yeah, right.
Then I'll be like, okay, this person has a habit of this or is great in this. Say, for example, you are good in table tennis. I would say, okay, he is a state level table tennis player, and we have had amazing, tournaments, like games together. And then, so that's how I'll get the persona, and then I'll be like, okay, now you give me 10 set of questions which will really relate to about podcasting.
You kind of iterate.
I kind of iterate,
yes.
And then from there I get these questions, and then I say, okay, and then usually GPT will give like a big question.
Yes.
Right. So then I say, okay, just give me a one-line question in the simplest form on this topic. Then it'll give me those so I'll just have them on a piece of paper in front of me or on a teleprompter. And that's usually my process. And then I'll add or remove according to what I feel. So, and of course, I'll have some fun questions in the beginning or at the end.
Right.
Like a rapid fire or like truth or dare or, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you consult companies in Mumbai and
Yeah.
you do marketing and advertising for them.
Yeah.
Can you speak of some of the brands that you have worked with and how you transform their digital journey from one point to another?
So most of the brands, they sign an NDA.
I see.
Okay. So there was one healthcare brand from Bangalore. I was working with them, and they were coming up with a product. They were first service based, right? So I was doing a lot of content for them, bootstrapped in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of content for them, and at that point, what happened was they shifted from service based to product based.
Yes.
Okay, so now they had these biohackers kind of a space, like a health space.
Yes.
Right? And for that product, basically we had to come up with educational series, and that's where we also were introduced to 2D animated explainer videos.
Right.
So and before that I'd never done 2D animated content before, and I had just done so much content for them, like in terms of yoga stories, bedtime stories, music, this, that, like a lot of different things. So they were like, okay, will you be able to do animated content, 2D animated? And I was like, yes.
But you didn't know how to
I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
I didn't know how to do it. But I knew film grammar. I knew film making. I knew how the screen grammar works. So I'm like, yes. And that's how the rise of 2D animation also came in my business. So I created lots of explainer videos for them, nearly like 40 explainer videos.
So how do you create them? I mean, what are the tools you use?
So it's like same Adobe Suite is there. There is After Effects, and then there is Premiere Pro. You get assets that are created by illustrators, and that's how we understood, this is the process.
Right.
The assets are created by illustrator. There's a storyboard artist. There's a storyboarding artist who will tell, okay, right now after this scene, this is going to happen. Then when this happens, they zoom in. Then when you zoom in, some other scene is there. And then when the pomegranate falls, and the pomegranate falls in this glass, and then suddenly this eruption of juice happens, and then the juice overflows, and then like
Yeah.
you know, so things like, so that storyboard is given, and then my animator kind of understands through those storyboards. The storyboard is basically frames that are there with these assets, and they mention, okay, in this you have to animate this, and this goes here, and the transition is this. So which makes life very, very easy. So so yeah, it's a process. I mean, there's a concept, there's script, there's a voiceover, there's an illustrator, there's a storyboard artist, there's an animator, then there's a package, then there's packaging, and the final product.
So I mean, why I asked this question is, it was leading to this question. Let's say there is one brand, a fresh brand. They have to start their branding. They don't even have a logo as of now.
Correct.
But they have idea of what to do, and they have the knowledge of how to do this. Let's consider an FMCG brand, or let's say a food brand. Nowadays, healthy snacks and healthy food is becoming very popular. Let's say a brand is related to millets, millet-based snacking brand, millet-based food brand, and all that. So how should they approach marketing? What are the steps? Step 1, step 2, step 3 they have to do to establish their first steps into the world of marketing?
Honestly,
yeah,
there's no like correct answer to this. Okay.
Right.
Because for everybody their journey is different. You can hire a big agency, might not work. You can start content by yourself, might not work, or might work really well, right? But my approach to most other people when they're starting out new, service-based or product-based, is create as much organically like possible content for the first 6 months at least.
6 months. Okay.
Yeah. So 4 to 6 months have content being thrown out in the market every single day, or at least like alternate days, right? Make your presence being felt in the market, even if you're getting very little views or like something like, it's fine.
Should you boost the reels?
Not till the first 6 months, or not 5 to 6 months.
Okay, not the lead gen part of it. I'm just saying boosting.
For branding purposes, visibility purposes, you may boost it.
Okay.
But then again, you won't get the correct audiences if you just like, it's like a spray and pray method, right? Like probably if you just do a little bit targeting, yes, you might get the correct lead gen. So till then, just have organically presence felt. You can boost a few pieces of content that are doing good. So suppose you put 10 pieces of video content, out of which 2 are doing really good, like, you know, and the 8 have, like, say you have 0 followers, you're starting from there, you will have like 40, 30, 80, 100 kind of views, B2C, B2B, right? And then there will be one content who has 500 views or 700 views. The other might have 1,000 views, right? So take that and boost it.
Right.
Because that is appealed to more than like 10x people who have watched it, right? Then that will give you some footfall on your channel. Also send your channel links to all your friends and families. The most organic way of showing some numbers. Like, you know, have a certain group and send it to them. Please ask them to share it to their friends, like organically, right? Then at a point, start introducing, performance marketing. Okay. Because now when I do performance marketing, and now if I'm doing lead generation or sales activity, I already have a lot of content on my website or on my social page. Because when, as an audience, if I'm coming now to your page, I'm already, there is so much information that makes me feel credible enough, right? So that credibility is established over a period of time, right? And now when I look through, even though you might not have great views or numbers, now is where I'm understanding, okay, this is, this person has, or this brand has got these many products or this service, and they have put out so much content on this. So yeah, and that's how you start performance marketing. Another great way of doing like entering the space is doing collaborative or influencer kind of marketing, right? Influencer becomes paid, but you can of course have podcasts where you can ask, so there are so many health podcasts. So you said healthy millet based, right? So there'll be so many health podcasts. You can reach out to them and see if you can go on to their podcasts. Then you'll have so many, like, influencers who are micro influencers, like, 5,000 followers, 3,000 followers. ask them to write a review about you, and in return send your product. So these are the different avenues that you can activate once you have that little base of 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a patience game. You'll have to wait for some time.
You're right.
And then, yeah, probably after 1 year or something, when you have enough and more number of content out there is where you can go like nice full throttle.
Yeah. So why I'm asking this is, lot of people who are good at their domain, like they know how to create a very good millet snack or whatever it is, or any other service or product for that matter. They go to an agency and agency delivers something to them. But these people do not know whether they're doing a good job. They're accepting whatever the agency is delivering.
Yeah.
So I would like you to kind of tell them probably a basic litmus test or a basic kit as to what they have to follow. Should they follow with writing a brand guide, a vision, mission, and then think about a logo. Most people will think about the name first before they have what their brand is, and then logo before even they're having a what does this represent. So how should they start it, and is there a template or a kit that they should follow?
So template in the sense is it's simple, right? You have an idea. You come up with your first you divide your target persona.
Yeah.
What target audience are you going to market to? Then from there you have to create your identity. What is the positioning of your brand going to be, in that market? Because most often than not, you'll have a competitor in that space, right?
Yes.
So then what are your competitors doing, and what is the space that you are trying to fill in, right? So these are the before launch or before you have launched, these are the first primary things that you have to do it. Most people become excited and they'll just dive in, and your brand guidelines are not set, your color tones, your tones are not set, your language is not set, how you're delivering the message is not set. Sometimes you'll have a cartoon character sticking out, sometimes you'll have some other person coming through your content. So there is no cohesiveness in terms of content, right? For example, if you take any brand, say Bira. I just remembered, right? Because I was reading about a case study, because Bira is no more in the market anymore. Okay, so they positioned themselves from that monkey thing, and they found a gap wherein people wanted to enjoy the taste of whatever beer, but didn't wanted to pay a little more for that enjoyment. Right, so they found, and they didn't want to pay excess for premium kind of brand, right? So here stood a Indian brand, and there stood a foreign brand, and there was a big gap between 100 rupee versus a 300 rupee, and they exactly came in at a 200 price point, wherein this kind of and the positioning was exactly the way they had to market them.
Yeah.
So if you think of that, right, they spent 9 months in just positioning themselves. 9 months before the launch. What are the color tones? The mascot, if you think, it's very notorious monkey.
Yes.
Kind of pointing it towards the Gen Z kind of a market, upbeat kind of tier 1 cities, right? So very different positioning, very different market strategy. So these are all the things. Now, unfortunately, I gave this example because I was just reading a case study about it. But these are all the things that a brand should think about.
Yes.
Put in a lot of effort in the foundation. Once the foundation is solid, then you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, everything will depend on your positioning, on your brand guidelines. So
I see a few more examples like this, the one you just quoted. There are a good number of brands who found this gap actually.
Yes.
I was just reading about Boat. Last week.
Yes.
There were 200 rupees earphones and 7,000 rupees earphones.
Yes.
And Boat actually found that gap. It also gave premium kind of texture, but it was affordable.
Yes.
And they made cricketers and actors as brand ambassadors, so
Yes.
people could relate. And it was positioned as a stylish brand.
Exactly.
And they won the market. So
100%. Like now, every single person like that I know has used or is using both headphones. Like my editors, my team is using both headphones, because now even on Swiggy, Zomato, I just order both is there.
Yes.
You know? And it's not the quality is bad, it's phenomenal quality.
Yeah.
So me being an audiophile, I have, pro grade 25,000 headphones.
Yes.
And I have these. And I mean, you can't compare, but like still, like as a consumer, if I have to listen, I enjoy listening to it, to music on these, right? So it's phenomenal quality, great price point, perfect market gap that was there.
Yes.
So something like that, if you can find and solve the problem, amazing, So, and that is what I think even Midas is kind of enabling all the students to, find those gaps in the market. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And for that matter, even Yoga Guppy came from there. We kind of saw a gap that there is no person doing that. And even Sound Dada, my current venture, next venture that is there, it's for the independent musicians, because their voices, nobody is like kind of, the music education for the next generation that is there. So their experiences, their, the business in terms of music side. So all of this is like finding those, filling up those spaces that are there required in the market. So, yeah.
Since we came back to the topic of YouTube, now I would like to ask you the most interesting questions about YouTube.
Yeah.
So how does the revenue work on YouTube, and how much are you making?
I don't make anything, guys.
All YouTubers say this, okay?
I really don't make anything. If whatever anything anybody makes, it's my wife. So there are multiple ways. Of course, YouTube monetization is one. But YouTube monetization is just the cherry on the cake. You should think of it like that. You should literally think of YouTube or any social platform as an enabler for your business. That would be my advice. If you are having 2 lakh, let's say a lakh of people that follow you or subscribe you, come up with a business plan that will turn those 1 lakh people, subscribers, into customers. Even 1 to 10% convert, you are in for a treat. Right?
Can you give us some of the examples?
So I'll give you a mathematical example, right?
Yeah.
You have 1 lakh people on your YouTube channel. Okay, say 0.1% converts every month. Those are 100 people. Of 100 people, you have priced a product which is at 1,000 rupees. So your 1,000 rupees, 1,000 into 100, you are getting a lakh rupees per month. Right. So something like that. And the more the number is, like if you have digital assets that you can sell, it depends also, like, how massy you want to go, how classy the product is. So all these things, like, how premium it is versus how massy it is. Like you can price the product at like 99 rupees also, whereas you can have 10,000 rupees also. So you have to create those markets for yourself. But like coming back to the revenue side, YouTube, so there is kids content, wherein how it works is you earn from a percentage from what the advertisers pay to advertise on your channel. So suppose if we have a yoga and fitness channel, like all the health brands would want to advertise on our channel. So there's a bidding that happens, and whichever brand wins the bid, their advertisement will be shown on our channel. Now we as content creators will get a space to place the ads wherever we want. So where there is a high point, or where we feel ki, okay, here, like, aise hota na ki, there's a climax happening, and there at that time only interval comes.
Oh, is it? You can place that manually?
You can place, we can place where we want to place the ad. So you place that ad. So then advertisers or the customers will have to watch that ad. And we as YouTubers, we are depending on the ad, because that is where our money is coming from. So we are going to place the ad, right? Because we are putting in so much effort, money, whatever, to create the content for free, right? And the only source of revenue is through the ads. So we'll place the ads where we find perfect space. So we place the ad. YouTube takes a big amount almost you can say
course.
50-50, you can say, right? So if you are, say, getting 10, the advertiser is paying 10 rupees, 5 rupees goes to YouTube, 5 rupees come to us. Okay, out of which there is tax cut on the US side, which is about 30%. Then out of the 5 rupees, further cutting happen and then comes to us. So that's how, and there is no GST on YouTube earnings. So because there is so much of cutting that has already happened, right? Usually per million views, it's an average from 15,000 to like 50, 60,000.
Right.
Whatever.
It also depends on the nature of the channel.
It also depends on the nature of the channel. It also depends on the average view time of the content. It also depends on how long the content is. It also depends on how many views you have. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have.
Right.
But it depends on how many views you have or what is your average hold time. So suppose if somebody watches this podcast through and through, like, right, and it's a 1 hour long podcast, people, and you place 20 ads, for example, in between, right? Then, like average view duration will increase, because even if out of 100, 10 people have watched the podcast through and through, your average view duration will go up to 10% more. So that's how, that's why it matters, like, your average view duration and all these things, because if somebody has watched it through and through, 10 people have clicked on those ads or skip ads, like, 100 times, 200 times people have viewed that ad, basically, ad slots. So that is where your revenue comes from. So this is one, right? Like YouTube as a platform itself.
Yeah.
Now you might think, okay, one video is going to give me money. No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
If I have, say, 100 videos on my YouTube channel, cumulatively, 100 videos will give me like 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 1 rupee, 80 rupee, 100 rupee as a whole. In 28 days, if I have 100 videos and so the newer content will give you, like, will be fresh, right? So it will give me little more. So say your one video has 1 million, your other video has 1 million, your other next 5 videos have 20 million, your next 10 videos have 10,000. So cumulatively you have 5 million as views per month.
Yes.
And you are earning on those every month on month. So something like that,
Except the log channels, except the daily log channels and things like that, I see two interesting things on YouTube. One thing is you get more views from non-subscribers than subscribers.
Always,
And second thing is you get more views from old videos than the new videos.
That is
dependable.
That depends. But more views from non-subscribers is because YouTube, if the content is doing well, YouTube will recommend
to many other people.
Because you watch this. If your SEO and everything is done right, YouTube will recommend your videos into the field, say suppose you're a musician and my music podcast comes on, and you watch something on, say, Arijit Singh, and my next podcast, there's a title of Arijit Singh, what did he say or whatever. YouTube algorithm will automatically plug that in because you watched Arijit Singh's this is another podcast for you. Right. So something like that, like on those lines, right? So that's how non-subscribers will watch. Probably you'll subscribe to Arijit Singh, but you won't subscribe because I'm a new player in the market and all of that. You won't. You just go through the content and be like, okay, next, what is next? So again, coming back, that is one way. But if you have more kind of people following you, then brand deals is another great way. And then once you have a community, then, you come up with a business and you have that. Like, for example, Yoga Lattes with Rashmi, right? We have an online e-commerce store. We sell yoga courses and we market it on our 2.5 lakh YouTube subscribers that are there. So inevitably some spillage happens onto our website because you are marketing, right? So that becomes our organic
Yeah.
income. So yeah.
One thing I observe is, I think it's very important, any creator sells something, if it is his own product or service, promoting for others is a different thing. But if he is selling something under his own brand, I think it should be related to his channel or his, his domain. Because there are two examples that I would take. Like you said, there is a very famous channel called Think School, right? He does business case studies.
Correct.
And he sells this one communication masterclass or something like that. And because he is doing YouTube for years now, and he presents case studies well, so he sells communication course, and that will sell.
Correct.
But very recently, Dhruv Rathi, who is another very famous YouTuber for various different reasons, but he came up with an AI super app. He merged all the AI tools and said, at 999, I'll give you all AI tools but I cannot relate Dhruv Rathi to an AI.
Yeah.
He is a political content creator. So now Dhruv Rathi launching an AI app, I think people wouldn't.
It's mispositioning, right?
Yes.
And he got a lot of backlash for that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. Sorry, I didn't let you finish your question, but I got the question.
Yes.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
And you saw a lot of people coming out like, who is this guy, about, and because like right now everybody wants to be in the AI space. He on his front is not wrong. He might have a team who's backing, he might have hired some AI experts to come up on board and give this thing, right? But on the face of it, he's the face of the brand. And, on personal branding front, you are trusting that face.
Yes.
Right. And then you have positioned yourself as a geopolitical leader or like a thought leader, So if probably he would have sold a course ki how to be presentable or in front of the camera or how to produce your videos the way I do.
Yeah.
It would have been massive success.
Yes.
Right. Because everybody wants to be like Dhruv Rathi in his section, in his sector. Everybody looks up to that. But now, he didn't position himself here as a
technocrat.
And he came from this angle, right? Let me have AI because it's the in thing.
Yeah.
And that's what backfired, because you have been positioning yourself so well for so long. And then suddenly, you just take an offshoot. I mean, there's no harm in taking the offshoot, right? But I think you should test the waters first before doing the offshoot.
Is the YouTube algorithm biased in any way, in your experience?
No, no. So there are a lot of theories about the YouTube algorithm and all of that. I just feel it's the people who make the algorithm go crazy, right?
Right.
So if you come up with good content, your content will do good. Maybe not now, maybe down the line. Right. And I always say, you're always one or two pieces of content away from kind of exploding. Not this, probably I would have said a year and a half back, but probably 5 pieces of content from exploding. So yeah.
Being a marketer, is there a favorite brand for you who does marketing very well? 1 or 2 brands like that, as an example, as a case study.
Being in yoga, this guy Saurabh Bothra, he is phenomenal when it comes to marketing. Habuild is his brand.
Okay.
So we were just decoding his case study and understanding from where he started, how he started. Because obviously you're doing your competitor analysis and everything, right? And when we look at it, we are just like, wow, the use of WhatsApp API as a marketing tool, it was done really, really well, implemented really well. Having an idea is one thing, but execution is a whole new level.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the way he has executed that into his marketing strategy is just amazing. Gamifying things, his customer relation, everything, everything. Attention to detail is on point.
Right.
Probably the content of the course, you can think about, but you have so many people already, within 2 years you have lakhs of people at a very cheap price point, doing something and following you. Very good. It's amazing.
Final question for the day, probably.
Yeah.
So, being a Midas coach,
Yeah.
how is Midas different from any other B school, any other traditional B school? What do you do here? And why is Midas different?
So I basically am onboarded for video content marketing, video production, which is the need of the hour, right? Every business service is is putting out content in different forms, like be it written, videos, visual, carousel, audio, whatever. So I'm here to enable that for the students. What I love about Midas is the approach. I feel MBAs right now in this day and age are redundant. You are doing case studies which are 10 years back, dated 10 years back. You're pre-COVID. The market is very different post-COVID. Plus, you are doing case studies which are not relevant to Indian market.
You're right.
A lot of them will have, foreign case studies. What did, this company do? What did that company do? I mean, what is the relevance, right?
Yeah.
With today's day and age. Plus, Midas is a lot more practical. It's a lot more hands-on. It helps you identify the gaps in the market much better. It's like a more holistic growth. And I know, there are a lot of second gen, third gen business owners who are coming in who want to do like a pivotal shift into their strategy from their traditional business that is there. Right. So if you have, say, for example, a gold jewelry store, like what are the different avenues that I can open up in my businesses from different angles, from today's day and age, that will help me and my family business, right? So that thought process, that is one. Secondly, what new things that you can come up with, what challenges are people facing in the market right now? How do I fill up those gaps? I feel this is great. And no textbooks, more of hands-on learning, more on industry experts coming in and teaching, giving in their time, 5 days, 10 days, whatever, amazing. Plus field visits, you have your boot camps and like bunch of things, right? Like there are this activity packed, like 6 months of in-person and like 6 months of hybrid coaching. So I think it's great. It's a great space, and it's only an upward journey, I feel, from here.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So today, thanks for coming here, and we have learnt a lot of things about marketing in general, YouTube algorithm.
Thank you, man. I hope I did justice to whatever.
Definitely.
So,
Very good to interact with you, and we
Same
hope
here.
to host you here again in.
Yes,
in a
within
few
6 months I'll be here back again.
Yes,
Love to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.